All
on
right,
air.
guys. All right, thank you. Welcome to Get Real LOL News. I'm here with Anthony from Hell's Kitchen Season 11. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, what's going on?
Let's start right off Hell's Kitchen talk.
All right, I'm down for that.
So first of all, how did you even get involved with the Hell's Kitchen process of getting on the show?
Well, funny enough, I actually had a day off work, and I was, it was completely on a whim, to tell you the truth. I was watching TV, and I caught like the last 5 seconds of a news broadcast, and it was saying, all I heard was open casting for Hell's Kitchen in downtown New Orleans. I was living in New Orleans at the time, on this day. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I have nothing else to do that day. Why not go see what it's all about? And that's kind of how I got started.
That's really funny. So what were you doing? And obviously you were probably cooking somewhere. What were you working at before doing Hell's Kitchen?
I was working at a place in New Orleans called the Dakota Restaurant. Little, small, fine dining kind of place.
Okay.
Maybe like a year at the time I went out for Hell's Kitchen. Maybe a year and a half. I've only been out of culinary school for about a year and a half, almost 2 years before I did Hell's Kitchen.
Okay, awesome.
So it was really like a, hey, what's it gonna hurt kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel like that's a huge learning curve to get right out of school and go into that kitchen. It looks like it's really scary in my
Like
opinion.
you wouldn't believe. Like, honestly, yes, it is. It's very daunting because you're like, all right, I've been doing this. I kind of have a little bit of a grasp on what to do in the kitchen and how to cook a few things, and then now I'm gonna have to do it in front of that guy who's been doing it for longer than I've been alive. So
That's funny. Now, so you went to this one-time audition, basically, an open call. So what was your next step after your open call? Were they just like, make me something?
no. And funny enough, whoever's listening, whoever's watching is gonna hear this. To get on Hell's Kitchen, and this might be a secret, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble. You don't have to cook anything.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
No, you don't have to cook anything. I did not have to cook a thing. It was do the sit down and then do some talking face to face. They had me do a little like video recording of, introduce yourself, show your personality and such. And then from there, it was just they flew me out to LA twice to kind of do final interviews, and then you meet with producers, and then they make their choices. But that was it. The most we talked about food was during the video interview. They showed me pictures of food and told me to identify what it was.
That's crazy to me. That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. So, okay. So you don't have to cook before stepping into Hell's Kitchen taping.
Correct.
So once you walk into Hell's Kitchen taping and Gordon Ramsay tells you to make his signature or your signature dish, is that super scary going into that? It looks like it would be.
It is. You do get a little bit of planning beforehand. Like they give you.
Oh, okay.
You get, and when I say planning, I mean, yeah, like it's kind of weird. It's like, what can I say? What can I not? I don't care. Like, before you even get to the signature dish, before you even get cast, before any of that, they ask you for 2 signature dishes. They're like, hey, if you do get picked, like not saying you're going to get picked, but if you do, what are 2 signature dishes you would want? And then the day of, when he asks, okay, go cook me your signature dish, that's when you find out which one you're cooking.
Oh, okay.
So that's all.
Very
They give you a
cool.
little envelope.
Oh, okay. So now, how picky is Chef Ramsay? Because he looks like he's a very picky man.
Amazingly. When you watch him on TV, you think, wow, he might be overbearing, or that's a little extreme for food. But then you kind of realize it's like, no, he expects it to be perfect, and you can't fault him for that. Like,
Sure.
if it were my restaurant, I'd want everything to be perfect too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. Yes, he's picky as all hell, but it's not unjustified.
Yeah. No, well, I think if you watch from the beginning to the end of a season, he always, in the end, really wants everyone to succeed.
Oh, without a doubt.
which I think is just so great because at first everyone just thinks he's like a hard ass until you get to see throughout the season, and then he loosens up slowly.
He does, because you start to learn a little bit more, and he starts to, like, because he teaches, like, he doesn't just stand there and yell at us, he'll jump on the line right next to you and kind of show you things. It's just a matter of, like, he knows he's not there to babysit.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to show you how to do this, learn how to do it.
Very true. Now, a fan named Kathy Bianikia, I don't know how to say that, sorry if it's wrong. It says, how is it to work with Chef Ramsay? Is he as badass off camera as well? And was there any hookups on the show? So that's a lot of questions in one.
Oh, wow. Let's fire off right from the top. How was it like working with him? It was amazing. I mean, for the time that I was there, just being able to, work in the same kitchen, work under him, the experience is just amazing. So I'd do it again in a heartbeat, even if I was going to get yelled at more. What was next? I've already forgotten these questions. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. It says, is he as badass off camera as well?
He is such a cool, laid-back guy. Like, when we're not working, like, even off camera or on camera, if it's not time for work, he is such a kickback guy. He loves to joke. He really likes high fives. Like, to a point where he's always going for, he's like, yeah, good job. Give me a high five. And you're not going to say no to the guy. Like, you're going to give him a fucking high five. But no, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was going to say, you can kind of see that when you win rewards and he comes along.
Yes, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
It's like the one reward that we won.
I feel like, it's going to sound terrible, but I feel like on Hell's Kitchen, there's been just a thing of the blue team failing miserably for seasons.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't understand.
You're definitely not wrong. Our season, I believe, was particularly bad.
I don't understand. I feel like, is that a setup? I feel like that's a setup to make the guys look bad.
No, it's really not. It's just, I don't know. It's really not. Like, there's no rigging. There's nothing like that. Like, there's just sometimes that we can't get stuff together.
Yeah. Well, weirdly enough, you would think that the guys would work better together in the kitchen, though, than the females, because females are very catty sometimes.
Because we're not so catty.
Yes.
You know what? No, we're not catty. We're stubborn, though.
That's true.
So we're not necessarily going to, like, yell back and forth. We're just going to be like, you know what? No, whatever. I'm going to go do my thing. You have fun.
That's true. So it's less of a teamwork effort.
Correct. Correct.
And then the last part of that question, it said, were there any hookups on the show that you know of?
No. Not that I know of, but also we weren't allowed to.
Oh, really?
Like, specifically in papers that we signed saying no.
I feel like that was broken on the season with Holly and Jay. I'm not sure what season that was, but... Okay,
yeah, may possibly. Also, it's like, for most part, there's no time for any of that.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that too. Now, how long, I don't know, like, I'm sure you can answer, how long is the Hell's Kitchen journey from, like, the start to the end, roughly?
From first day to finale, roughly 6 weeks.
Okay, it seems like, I don't know, it feels like way longer when you're watching it on TV.
Right.
But I wasn't sure because you can't tell if it's like a week or if it's like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say.
It was about 6 weeks.
Okay.
It's some days you'll do a challenge one day, you'll do a challenge in the morning, and then the reward will just take all day, and so that'll be fine. And then you'll do service the next day, night. And then some days you'll do a challenge in the morning and then the service that night.
Now, which was your least favorite punishment? Because you guys had a decent amount of them.
Oh, yeah. Let me pick one of them. Let me just remember all of them. Let me flashback real quick.
I feel like they were all terrible.
Which one was really bad? You know what? It wasn't terrible, but when we had to watch the animals, when they had that petting zoo set up, because, oh, God, it was so unnecessary, because we had to cook food for these animals. Because it was part of their diet, Like, we had to make them meals. And not only did we have to make them meals, we had to make them at specific times during the night. So we didn't get to sleep all night. Because every 3 hours or 4 hours, we had to make a pecan pie for the llama.
That's so funny.
The llama didn't even eat the thing. Like, they're just fucking with us at that point.
That's so funny. I feel like I feel like all of them were bad. But
oh yeah, I mean they were all bad. There was one where we had to eat food that was looked like it was in a pig trough, and it was just some brown stuff with a whole bunch of horseradish and a whole I don't know. There was one that I missed that I heard was bad. That was like fish soup, fish head soup or something like that. But
that sounds gross.
They're all bad.
So the next question says, are Andy and Aaron actually helpful, or are they as hard-ass as Chef? So are they helpful sous chefs, basically?
No, they're really helpful. Like it's their job, you know. They definitely want to be there to help us out and make sure we don't fail. And you can tell, like, there's some points where we're messing up, and obviously they want to help, but there's only so much they can do. Like, they're not going to do the work for us.
I just thought about, though, I'm reading this fan question. I'm trying to think. On your season, you had Andy. Did you have Scott or James?
We had James.
I was about to say, I don't know who Aaron is, but
I don't know who Aaron is either.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
We had Chef Scott, or I'm sorry, Chef James, and that was his first season. Yeah.
Okay, I remember there was a switch off between him and Scott, but I couldn't remember when.
Yep, it was that first year. But they do try to help, and yes, they are very helpful. And they care just about as much as we do. So.
Yeah, it looks like it. I liked. I don't know if you watched season 13 or 14. I don't know, but they had to do a team with Ramsey against the other 6.
Ah, okay.
Which I thought was super cool to watch.
Yeah, I'd love to participate in that. Probably get my ass kicked, but I'd love to do that.
Maybe you should go back and do one of the.
Oh, I kind of lost you. You asked a question, I completely missed it.
I think she got frozen. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, SpaghettiOs.
Okay, well, while we wait for her to come back, how about I ask you, we've had some people in our Facebook groups ask about the chef's table and why that's such a big deal. Eating in a hot, crazy kitchen where, you know, everything yelled at, it's greasy, there's people setting the stove on fire, whatever, but then these VIPs want to sit in the kitchen and listen to Chef call people a fucking donkey and punch plates of fish. Why is that such a big deal? And
I think the chef's table is kind of an important thing, because the kitchen, like, even though I know in Hell's Kitchen it's an open kitchen, like, people can obviously see in there, and in restaurants they have open kitchens, but normally it's closed off, and that's kind of like, I'm trying to say this without sounding so amazingly cheesy, that's where the magic happens. You know what I mean? Like, in the kitchen is like the personal space of the chefs. This is where we work. This is where we create stuff. And like, inviting someone into that to see how everything gets kind of put together, it just, from the chef's standpoint, it's much more personal.
Okay.
And even from
Yay.
Yeah, and then she's back, and then even from like the person's point of view, like, oh wow, I get to go be in the kitchen with all this going on and have my food right there. And normally, if you do have a chef's table in the kitchen, it's not like Hell's Kitchen where the chef's yelling at everybody. You know, usually take a lot better care of them.
Perfect. There's our Ashley.
Sorry guys, I'm not really sure what happened.
It happens.
I don't know. It asked. Okay, so not really sure where we left off, but I'm just gonna pick it back up. So we were talking. I heard you were just talking about chef's tables.
Yes.
What chef table did you get to take care of while you were in Hell's Kitchen? Who was your?
I didn't personally get to take care of any of them.
Oh, okay.
We did have 2. We had. Oh crap. I'm so terrible with names. I don't remember who they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'd have to like Google it real quick or something, but I don't remember their names.
That's okay. I don't know either.
What's her name? Melissa Menounos, I think, was one of them.
Oh yeah, she's from
E. Yeah, I think she was one of them. I know on the girl side at one point they had, I want to say, no, it wasn't Paul Rudd.
Maria Menounos is her
Maria
name.
Menounos. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you
for. I didn't know either. Aaron knew.
And then I think, did we have Tony Hawk on our season too?
I think you did.
Yeah, I think he was on the girl side, but yeah, I think we had Tony Hawk too.
I think it was him and his son, maybe.
His son.
I don't know. I don't remember. But
me neither. It's a repressed memory.
Yeah, I bet. Well, it's a long time ago.
It was
a lot.
But it wasn't though. Like I think we were just talking about it like what, 3 years maybe now.
Yep, that still is a long time to remember little things. So because that's a long process too.
Oh god, yeah. A couple months.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about elimination rounds, or however you want to call them. Is it really that hard to come to a consensus on who to put up? Because we always see everyone struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not edited to make it look harder than it is or anything else like that. We literally struggle that much.
That's
just because
crazy. It is I mean, I guess it's hard to...
It is hard. In the beginning, it's a little bit easier. Like when you have 10 people to choose from and not everyone's that close yet, you know, you don't have those bonds. You're kind of like, yeah, you messed up, you're going in. But as it gets down, you're kind of like, man, you know, I do legitimately like working with these people. This guy's really good at what he does. And and then there's always the aspect of, we just really don't want to lose any more people from our team.
That's true.
You start to really nitpick, especially when you get down to no one really messed up that night. Like everyone messed up as a whole.
Yeah.
So you can't really single out somebody.
Okay, so last 2 Hell Kitchen questions, then we're gonna move on to something else.
Sweet.
First of all, who were you closest to on the show?
Chef-wise, I'd say I probably got along best and connected best with Chef Michael Langdon.
Oh, okay.
That guy.
Very cool.
That guy's a monster. Actually, after the season aired, he was working in northeastern Pennsylvania and had a job opening, and so I went and worked with him for a while until we worked together for about 1.5 years.
That's awesome.
So
now, okay, and then who were you closest to in the house?
Like all of us got to me. I'd say okay. If you call it like a group, whatever. It was me, Mike, Barrett, John, and Ray.
Okay.
So if you kind of want to put those, what was that? 5 names? Me, Mike, Barrett, John, Ray. Together, like we 5 probably got along the best.
Okay. Okay, so I lied. There's going to be 2 more health questions because someone else just posted.
It's all good.
Okay, so it says, what is so hard about tableside that chefs seem to tank when they go out on the floor? That's a very good question.
It is. I'd say part of it is timing, is having to learn the timing. Because when you have to do tableside, you have to obviously match with what's coming out of the kitchen. And if the kitchen's messing up, you don't have that line of communication of being there. So you're like, I'm going to go do this. I'm hoping they're going to be done soon to match it up. And sometimes they're not. Sometimes they are. And also, I know it's the case in some of the people that did tableside. They've never done tableside service before. So it's new to them.
Yeah.
So
I think all of it.
Throw it up.
Yeah, I feel like it always looks like the kitchen messes something up and then it ends up, or something gets dropped on the floor. That's like the 2 things.
Yeah, that happens. That happens, but it's just kind of like it's like a snowball effect. Like one thing goes wrong and it just trails down the whole mountain.
Okay, so then what was your favorite part of the Hell's Kitchen experience as a whole?
As a whole, my favorite part. I'll tell you, initially, my favorite part was when we pulled up in the bus and I got to see the big flaming HK. Like that was honestly the best moment, like for a very long time.
That's awesome.
Because I mean, up until my season, I unfortunately have not watched a whole lot since I was on. But I used to watch that show all the time. I loved that show.
Oh, okay.
I never thought about being on it until, like I said, that day. So I'd always loved watching it. And then when I saw that the HK was on fire and everything, I'm like, wow, this is really awesome. But overall, I think my favorite thing was just the challenge of it. Just the the confidence that it gave me. Because I've done a whole bunch of jobs before I got into cooking. I got into cooking late. But it was kind of one of those things where it's like, yes, I did all this, and you know what? I really do need to be in cooking. I really need to be a chef. So that's like overall the confidence and like the
just the overall experience.
Yep, just the overall experience, because I could just sit there and fragment sentences for days.
That's awesome. So now let's talk a little bit about what you're doing since the show. What have you been doing since leaving, basically, Hell's Kitchen?
Working. That's it. Like I said, once we left Hell's Kitchen, I worked in New Orleans for about another half year, and then went to northeastern Pennsylvania to work with Mike Langdon. We did that, but honestly, like I never really got involved much in the publicity side of it. Like, oh, I was on Hell's Kitchen, let me go do this. I tried to do a lot of stuff. Like I actually every year get involved with. It's an organization called Michelle's Place. It's out here in Southern California. It's a breast cancer research center.
Oh, like Reality Rally?
Yeah, Reality Rally, exactly. I've
Yeah.
been lucky enough to do that 2 years out of the last 3 since Hell's Kitchen. So
Okay.
that's really great. You know, me and Barrett Beyer, we've actually started our own little podcast. So we do. It's called Triple F with the Chef. We do that every now and then when we get time. We just talk about food, restaurant business, whatever strikes our fancy.
That's awesome.
And so now I'm back out in Southern California. I'm working for a company called Perch, and I do kitchen demos. I teach classes. I just kind of help this company attract people and get people interested in their product.
Okay. Now, how has that been for you since you're not actually cooking in a kitchen right this minute? You're more teaching and doing that sort of thing.
Correct. It's a lot different. I actually just finished up my last job out here. I was a sous chef trainer for a corporate restaurant, and
Okay.
I actually just had my last day 3 days ago.
Oh, wow.
So, so I'm done with that, and I've started up this new business. It's a lot different. Obviously, I've been working in the kitchens. I've been working on the line for the last 6 years now.
Yeah.
Just constantly doing all of that, and this change of pace is something that I like because it gives me more opportunity to be creative and kind of work my own menus, work my own ideas, and get that out there, and then also give me the opportunity to kind of work on my own stuff, like do private caterings, do just the personal chef kind of gig a little bit, which I like.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that would be fun. I feel like being a chef is like kind of like being an artist, because if you ever look at, especially on Hell's Kitchen, because you can watch all the different presentations, I guess is what you'd say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think it's pretty cool to watch. I love looking at the finesse of that they try and do with Ramsay. He's all about that. Good
Oh, he
looking stuff.
he loves plating stuff. So
I don't understand. I could never do it.
Well, it's the mindset of like you eat with your eyes first, so you got to make it look pretty.
I know, but I feel like every time I think something looks good, they're always like, the judges are like, that looks terrible. I'm like, oh, well, my
Whatever.
bad.
Just feel like it's good food. Eat it. Shut up. Close your eyes.
Pretty much. Very true. So you and you said Barrett are doing a podcast. How
Correct.
often do you guys do that?
We usually try to hit that up maybe once or twice a month when we can get time. We used to be
Okay.
a lot better. We lived right next door to each other, so we had more time. Now we're across the country, so.
You guys live next door to each other.
We did. In northeastern Pennsylvania, we live next to each other.
Oh, you guys were like best friends.
Oh, yeah, like the 3 best friends that anyone ever had. But, yes, we did it a lot more now. We kind of fell off a little bit when we both got busy with, real life, because that's a pain.
Pretty much.
And so now, over the last maybe a month or two, we're starting to pick it up a lot more.
Oh, okay, awesome. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. You guys need to do it more often.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We know we do.
Yeah.
We've kind of fallen off. We did a show, Reality Rally, which was just in April,
April.
beginning of April. We did that. So we're planning another one within the next week or two. We'll get another one going.
Awesome. Now, how was your experience with Reality Rally? Because I know a lot about that organization. I think it's wonderful. It's so fun.
Oh, right on. No, it's an amazing organization. I love doing that thing. It's so much fun. My first year was 3 years ago, and that's kind of who was that? That was me. That was Barrett. That was a couple of other people. Our first year. A lot of people from our season. That was our first year.
That's awesome.
So we went. It's such a great experience. Like the center is so amazing. And that's the year we also started a celebrity chef cook-off because we had enough chefs there. So the 3 years ago was the first celebrity chef cook-off.
Did you win?
No, actually, I did not. Amanda Giblin and then Amanda Colello from season 9. And then the other Amanda from our season, they won that year. Last year I didn't get to attend, unfortunately. I was too busy working. But this past year I did, and I did win the cook-off this year. So
awesome.
with Steve Cazell.
Very cool.
I can't remember what he was from, but he's a cool guy too.
That's awesome.
But no, aside from that, I love doing it, and I plan on doing it every year I can. So.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I'm a huge fan of Reality Rally. I think everyone on our site actually is.
Oh, for sure.
So, all right. Last things, or Oh gosh, I
Last
can't
things
even talk
first?
straight. Yeah, I know, I can't even talk straight.
Just start from the
Losing
middle
my
and go
mind.
from there.
Alright, so now that you're just living real life, well, first of all, are you married? Do you have a family?
Nope, not married. No kids,
Okay.
no nothing.
I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember from the show. So besides working, what do you do in your spare time besides working and your podcast?
I am a complete nerd. I am a comic book nerd. I am a video game nerd. Computer, all that jazz. So I game a lot. I've got my little shelf of nerd apparatus right here. I do a lot of that. I just like to be outside. You know, let's go hiking. Let's go do something. Since Southern California, you can't not do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. I do another podcast with a friend of mine. You know, I've been friends with this guy for, Jesus, I don't know, 15 years maybe.
Wow.
We do one about gaming about that. It's called GLHF Radio. So that one we do a little more frequently because we have time. But really, like, if I'm not cooking, if I'm not like just sitting around writing down random recipes or such, I'm either outside or got a controller in my hand.
Maybe we should make a show called The Bachelor with Anthony.
That'd be a very boring bachelor. I don't know how that would work.
Well, the point is to find you a mate. You're supposed to find a mate on The Bachelor. Have you ever seen The Bachelor?
There's roses, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't really know. I've never seen it.
Have you ever seen The Bachelor?
Nope.
Like, no, let's make your Bachelor. What is it? I don't know. It's just something. No, I do have a girlfriend though. So
okay.
I'm not solely by myself.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
I don't
good.
need The Bachelor. I'm good.
Someone said, do you geocache? Since you said you're nerdy, I guess that's a nerdy thing. I don't know.
It is. No, I do not.
It's not a nerdy thing, though. I feel like it's a fun thing.
Geocache, yeah, that's like a hiking thing. That's not necessarily nerdy. That's just hiking enthusiasts geocache. I don't.
I think that would be a fun. You could probably find a lot of good stuff in California.
Oh, I bet. I have no doubt. There's hiking trails and canyons and mountains. Like, you can't swing a cat without hitting one.
Like here, there probably wouldn't be that much good stuff because I'm in a small town. But there.
I mean, I lived in Wilkes-Barre for like 2 years. That's a small town too.
That's true. That's very true. All right. So, what would you want to say to all your fans, supporters, friends, chefs, etc.?
For all my chef friends and everyone I know there, just honestly thank you, because we support each other so much. Like, we're always there. If someone has a bad day, like, we have our own group on Facebook that we all talk to each other about, and so someone will complain about something, and we'll be like, don't even worry about it, you'll be fine. You know?
That's so cool.
It really is. Like, the chefs, and I know this is the same with I think it's the same with any profession, really. Like, you have a group of people that you get together with. And with chefs, like, chefs naturally are drawn to each other because we're all the same. We're all fucking crazy. Like, we're messed up in the head. We tell, the worst jokes. We call each other the worst names in the kitchen, but then, we'll go have a beer after. So to all my chef friends out there, just honestly, like, thank you, keep up the good work, and, I'll talk to all of you soon. To all the fans, you guys are awesome. Like, I've never been one to be like, oh, man, I was on TV, I'm famous, I'm awesome. Like, no, God, no. But the fans out there have been so nice. Like, even when the show was airing and I would look at the Twitter feeds and the Facebook feeds, like, everyone was so positive, and I'm like, wow, they like me.
Well, I'd hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I'd hope so. Now, a random question, though. All of the Hell's, like, your season has the same exact Twitter almost. Was that on purpose?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they made those for us.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure. I just noticed it, like, today.
Yeah, everyone's whatever their name is, and then either HK11 or 11HK.
Oh.
Actually, no, I think I'm the only one that's 11HK because I changed it.
Oh, really?
I'm a rebel? I don't know. I got bored.
That's funny. I was just curious. Like, I just saw it today and was like, that's a little strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we're all whatever HK11.
That's because they're all about promotion. That's what their job is. That's
very true. I mean, plus they want to differentiate us since we did win Best New Cast at the Reality Award show.
Did you?
Like 3 years ago, I think. I don't know. Yes, we did, actually.
That's cool. And then someone said, "What's your favorite thing to cook?"
If we're talking very generally,
Yes.
seafood. I love
okay.
seafood. Fish, scallops, mussels, all that jazz.
Scallops confuse me because everyone has trouble cooking them for some reason.
Yeah, they're specific. Like, you just have to get the timing down. You have to have a really hot pan. You have to sear them really hard, and then turn it down.
It's supposed to be 40 seconds. That's what they said on the last season or something.
Yes, at Hell's Kitchen, they're 40 seconds on each side, actually.
Yes.
Because you want you to time that so specifically. But yeah, so seafood. I really like Asian cuisines, Vietnamese, Thai, Japanese, Chinese. I love cooking that stuff.
Okay.
If we're going specific dishes, I've just got it. Scallops. I've got to do something with scallops.
Awesome.
I love scallops.
That's really cool. And then they said, "What is the one thing everyone should learn to cook that will make you look like a chef, but isn't that hard?" That's a good one.
Pan sear a steak.
What does pan sear even mean?
Instead, like, a lot of people think I've got a steak, I'm gonna grill it, or I'm gonna grill it, or I'm gonna use a George Foreman, or I'm gonna do something like that. No. Just do it in a pan.
Oh, like with some oil or something?
Yeah. Season it up really nice. Do it in a pan, because what you can do from there to kind of make yourself seem a little more chefy is when the steak is almost done, you take it out, you put it on a pan, and you like finish it in the oven. But then you can make a sauce from everything that's in the pan.
Oh, very cool.
So see, like, you kind of take it up just a little bit more, like you pan-seared a steak and you made a little sauce to go along with it.
Well, there you go. So anyone who wants to maybe go out on a hot date, you can just cook at home.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You make a steak for a girl, you're set. Or a guy. Hey, you know.
I was about to say, I think guys like meat more than girls most of the time.
Or poach some fish. That's good too.
Yeah. I always look at their halibut that they make, because they always make the same stuff like every season, and it always looks so good.
Oh
so
yeah,
good.
absolutely. I love the food there.
Well, it's probably like $20 a plate there.
Funny enough.
Maybe more.
It's free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that because they always get messed up and people get sent home hungry?
No, during my season, really funny, quick story. During one of the services, I look out into the crowd to see people because we were winding down and cleaning up, and I saw a friend of mine actually eating.
Oh, nice.
So really random. Like, they didn't know I was doing it. They just happened to get tickets because, at least years ago, tickets are free. You literally just have to go. I think you go through maybe Fox's website or someone else's website, sign up for tickets. There's a wait list, but you go there, you just eat and drink for free, and then you're done.
Well, there you go. They probably do that because most of the time people get stuck without food in the end. In the
More
very
than
beginning.
likely, yeah,
in
probably.
the beginning.
Yeah, because even when we get kicked off, I think someone still cooks some food. So.
Oh, do they?
I think so. I don't know.
It's hard to say because you always see people walking out like it's just editing.
Oh yeah, of course.
So any last thoughts on Hell's Kitchen, podcast, what you're doing now, etc.?
God, any last thoughts on Hell's Kitchen? Yes. For everyone who likes Hell's Kitchen, write Fox, write whoever does it, write Gordon Ramsay. Tell them they need to do like a Hell's Kitchen All-Stars.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Wouldn't it though? Like at Reality Rally, a couple of us were talking about this. Like, do like an All-Star, do a reunion thing like that. I think that would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
And invite me back, please. Throw that in there. Be like, do this, and have Anthony come back.
Maybe we can make it like a vote. Like, we'll just be like, put all the chefs that have ever been on the show, and we'll all vote.
See, there you go. Leave it.
Let the
to
fans vote.
Social media, yes. Leave it to social media. As far as podcasts and everything else like that, like I said, do find me and Barrett on.
Yeah, do you wanna say your link real quick, actually, to that?
Yeah, for sure. You can find us on Facebook. That's the easiest one. It's facebook.com/FF with the chef. Spell the whole thing out. It's long. I'm sorry. I didn't make it up. Check us out there. Also, if you look for FF with the chef on iTunes, we're on iTunes as well. And then the other one, if you're a nerd like me, please check out. It's facebook.com/GLHF radio.
Awesome.
That's it. And the same thing on iTunes and SoundCloud. So.
Cool deal. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps us up then. Thank you so much for coming and joining our chat.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. I think it's so fun to talk to people who actually like are doing something now other than reality TV.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah, I do too. All right, but thanks so much. Be sure, everyone, to follow. All his links are down below if you didn't catch them. So go follow him and like him and all that good jazz.
Yes.
All right, have a wonderful evening, and thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.
Bye.